A very good evening. You're watching the 4 p.m. newscast with me, Akanksha Swaroop, on CNN News 18. We continue to track the latest coming from West Bengal as former Education Minister Partha Chatterjee has been taken to the Bankshall Court in connection with the Staff Selection Commission recruitment scam case. Earlier in the morning, remember, the Enforcement Directorate had arrested Partha Chatterjee. Apart from this, his aide Arpita Mukherjee has also been arrested. Now, according to sources, gold and diamond ornaments worth about 50 lakh rupees and over 20 crores in hard cash has been recovered from Partha Chatterjee's close aide Arpita Mukherjee's residence. More than 20 mobile phones have also been recovered. The money is suspected to be the proceeds of the crime in the SSC scam.
After facing an interrogation for over 24 hours, senior Trinamool Congress leader, minister in Mamata Banerjee's cabinet, Partha Chatterjee, who has been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate in the SSC scam, the alleged SSC scam, has now been brought to the Chief Metropolitan Magistrates Court in Kolkata. He has got down from the car and is slowly making his way towards the court lockup. That's the route that he would be taking. Chatterjee, we are made to understand, would have to appear before a special ED court, a special PMLA court as soon as possible. That court is not in session today.
All right, for more details, let's quickly go across Saugata Mukhopadhyay, who's also live from Kolkata. Saugata has been tracking the story very closely. Remember, Partha Chatterjee, as we were showing you, arrived at the Chief Metropolitan Magistrates Court more than an hour ago. And let's now get in a sense of what's the latest development as far as his presence at the court is concerned. Saugata, if you could take us through what's the latest, in how much time can we expect Partha Chatterjee to now step out? And what can we expect from the ED?
Well, you see, Partha Chatterjee, as you rightly pointed out, has gone inside. He is inside that court lockup. I'll ask my camera person to try and give you a sense of the area around here. That is.
लेकिन मोनालिसा का भी नाम आ रहा है. ये मोनालिसा कौन है?
मोनालिसा वहाँ आसनसोल में जो यूनिवर्सिटी है, काजी नजरुल यूनिवर्सिटी, वहाँ पढ़ाती है. और जहाँ तक संभावना, मुझे पार्टी की तरफ से नौकरी दिया गया है. बांग्लादेश के साथ उनका कनेक्शन है. कई बार आना जाना, वहाँ के नेताओं के साथ उठना बैठना. उनके नाम पर 7-7, 10-10 फ्लैट्स का भी आ रहा है. बिल्डिंग है, शांतिनिकेतन में है, आसनसोल में है. और 5 दिन से गायब भी है. उनको मालूम था कि ऐसा होने वाला है. तो मुझे लगता है कि ईडी उसको भी निकालेगी और उससे भी ऐसे करोड़ों प्रॉपर्टी निकालेगी.
तो अर्पिता, मोनालिसा और पार्था चटर्जी तक मामला रुक जाएगा या इसके तार और अंदर जाएंगे?
नहीं रुकना चाहिए. बंगाल के साथ न्याय होना चाहिए और इसका तार बहुत लंबा है. सबसे ऊंचा सर्वोच्च नेतृत्व तक तार है. वहां तक पहुंच करके उनको भी सोनिया गांधी जैसा पूछताछ में नीचे लाना चाहिए.
तार लंबे हैं और अंदर तक जुड़े हुए हैं. उच्च नेतृत्व यानी टीएमसी के ऊपर नेताओं तक जुड़े हुए हैं.
All right, Saugata, we could hear the mention of Mona Lisa. If you could take us through who is Mona Lisa and what is her connection with the case?
Well, several names have popped up ever since, Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee's residences were raided by the Enforcement Directorate yesterday. And one of those names is that of Mona Lisa Das, who is a teacher, a professor at Kazi Nazrul University in the Department of Bengali, who is also known to be similarly close to Partha Chatterjee. Now, what the BJP is alleging at this point in time, and there is no formal corroboration of that from the investigating agencies, is that Mona Lisa Das is also similarly linked to Partha Chatterjee, who also has been owning several such properties both in Kolkata and outside. Whether those are actually valid allegations or not, we will not be able to confirm you at this point in time.
Right.
But those are allegations allegations that have been, that's a finger pointing that has been made against a certain individual. Whether the ED takes cognizance of that and actually, raids Mona Lisa Das or her apartment or her residence, that only time can tell. But once that happens, we will obviously update our viewers about that. But at this point in time, the ED has not made any such moves. As far as Partha Chatterjee is concerned, and as I was telling just a short while back, and I will again ask my camera person to show you, give you a sense of this place where I am standing. This is obviously the Bankshall Court, where Partha Chatterjee is. That's his car, and that is the iron gate through which Partha Chatterjee has gone in about an hour or so ago. What we are getting to know is the court is on the first floor of this building. He will be produced before the Chief Metropolitan Magistrate. The Enforcement Directorate will obviously ask for or pray for a remand. What kind of remand is the major question? Will the ED ask for its own remand, or will the ED want a police remand? Will the judge grant a police remand? Because there are questions on whether the case, which is directly linked to PMLA, which is the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, whether the Chief Metropolitan Magistrate has the jurisdiction to pass an order on that case. If that is indeed the case, which we are not sure about at this point in time, we will have to wait for the deliberations that take place within the court. Once that happens, we will be able to tell you what kind of remand the court actually approves. Whether it approves of a police remand or whether it approves of a interim judicial remand, which is jail custody, and in that case, Partha Chatterjee as a suspect will then again have to be produced before the adequate court. The adequate court in this particular case is, of course, the PMLA ED Special Court, and that court will be in session on Monday, that is the first working day of the week, and for the next 2 days, then in that case, Partha Chatterjee will have to remain in judicial custody. Whether that happens or whether the Chief Metropolitan Magistrate actually gives the ED a temporary police remand for 2 days, or whether it makes any kind of other observations, we'll have to wait for that remand prayer, when that prayer is made and when that deliberation takes place within the court, which has not happened so far.
Right, Shaukato, hold on to those thoughts. We'll keep coming back to you for more. For now, let's also listen into some very crucial political reactions that have poured in.
ED claims that this money is somewhere linked to the education ghotala, the SSC scam in West Bengal. How do you see this entire development and this arrest that has been made by Enforcement Directorate?
अभी जिनका घर पे भी, जिसका मिनिस्टर बोलिए, नेता नेत्री बोलिए, जिसका घर में भी पैसा है, उसको हटा दिया, फेंक दिया पानी में. ये बहुत पहले होने का था. ये बंगाल का एक हिस्टोरिकल एक SSC स्कैम का ये आप शुरुआत देख रहे हैं. ये कुछ भी नहीं है. 20 करोड़ 21 करोड़ जो मिला उनका क्लोज जो भी है उनका घर से, कुछ भी नहीं है. ये बहुत सारा करोड़ों का ये पूरा स्कैम है. और सबसे खराब लग रहा है कि हमारा जो फ्यूचर का जो युवा बोलिए, युवती बोलिए, जो भी है, जो मतलब जिसका टैलेंट है, उनको नौकरी नहीं दिया गया, उनको एडमिशन नहीं दिया गया. जिसके पास पैसा है उसके पास से पैसे लेके उसको जॉब दिया गया, उसको एडमिशन कराया गया.
एक